are listening to Radio Slovakia International.
If you have a mobile phone or a laptop computer, you'll know that when the batteries go flat, you have to stop what you're doing and recharge them. Imagine if you could simply swap out the flat batteries for freshly charged ones. One Slovak company is doing just that every day, but instead of mobile phones and laptops, this company is doing it with electric vehicles. The most repeated criticisms against electric vehicles are their prohibitively high price tags and their lack of usable range per charge. One Slovak company called GreenWay claims to have found a solution for both of these issues and, more interestingly, has such electric vehicles operating on Slovak roads today. The key difference with their electric vehicles isn't the size of the battery pack, but that it can be swapped out with a freshly charged pack in less time than it takes to fill a tank with diesel, and that the customer doesn't have the initial expense and risk of buying the vehicle, instead offering the vehicles to end users via vehicle leasing. To find out how this system works, I met with GreenWay's managing partner, Peter Badik.
We want to do service related to electric vehicles, which would be not only ecological, but would make economical sense for our clients. So we say we would like to provide a service where the client got the car, paid a monthly fee, and based on the monthly fee, we provide him not the asset, not the car, but the service of mobility. So all services, car, electric energy, and all other needs which he needs for running the car, he has included in one invoice per month.
How far can each vehicle travel on one charge?
For electric vehicle to be economically feasible tool for transportation, it really is necessary to drive quite a lot of kilometers. Based on our calculation, the electric vehicle has to drive at least 70,000 kilometers per year. So it means if you calculate per working day, it's 250 kilometers per working day. At this moment, our car, which we are using, could drive 200 kilometers per one charge. So the car in the morning is fully charged because it was charged during the night. Then it makes up to 200 kilometers. It would come to battery swap station, swap the batteries in 7 minutes, and can drive additional 200 kilometers. If it swaps more than one per day, it could drive without the limits.
So who pays for the vehicle exactly?
The vehicles remain in our ownership, but what we provide is the car for our clients, and they are paying us based on monthly fee for using of the car, for electric energy consumed in the car, and for all other services.
And how many of these vehicles do you have?
We started the project running in October 2011, and we are at this moment we are in the end of the first project phase. So we have a testing fleet of 4 cars, where we test the technology, and our plan for next year is to have additional 30 cars.
How many recharging stations does GreenWay have, and are there more planned for the future?
At this moment, we already have 2 battery swap stations in Slovakia, and for next plan, additional swap stations in Slovak Republic, and as well, we would like to build one in Austria and one in Czech Republic.
What's the performance like in the electric vehicles compared to the original diesel version?
I have to say that the driver of our customers, they like the performance. Basically, they are very comparable to diesel engine cars, and as I said, the driving range is about 200 kilometers.
Now, are these vehicles purchased as factory-made electric vehicles, or are you converting them to electric yourself?
Unfortunately, at this moment, it's not possible to buy this kind of car with this kind of features which we need for our system from a traditional OEM producer. That's the reason why we are working together with a partner in our project, which is it's a Czech company called EVC. The EVC convert the traditional OEM diesel version of a Citroën Jumper to electric one.
Now, you probably can't tell me the price of the vehicles, but are they much more expensive than the petrol or diesel equivalent?
Unfortunately, it is still true that the electric vehicles are much more expensive than the diesel version of this kind of car, and that's one of the reasons why we think that the correct way is not to sell the car to the customers, but to sell them the service. So all the risk regarding the financing of the car, all the risk regarding the technology should be handled inside of the electric vehicle operator, and the client just received a very simple service, and simply if the service is not delivered, the client is not paying the invoice.
How long does it take for each vehicle to be paid off from the initial investment?
We really need to drive a lot with electric vehicles. Based on our calculation, we need to use the car in our system for more than 7 years.
While electric vehicles themselves are not a new technology in Europe, battery swapping certainly is. GreenWay, however, are already operating their fleet through 2 battery swap stations, one in Bratislava and the other in Nitra, 100 kilometers to the east. These 2 stations carry charged and ready 60 kilowatt-hour battery packs, allowing the electric vans to cover the areas between the 2 locations without long charging times. We've made our way out to look at the vehicle itself. It's snowing at the moment. What sort of difference does the temperature make to the range of the vehicles?
In generally speaking, if the batteries are cold, then you have a lower driving range. The way how we solve this is that once we are plugged in a grid and the car is charging, the batteries are heated. So in the morning when the car is starting the road, even if there is -10 outside, the battery still has +5, and the battery is not losing the driving range.
Now, the battery wheels in and out for easy removal by the looks of things. How heavy is that battery, and how big is it?
The whole battery has about 1.1 cubic meter, and it weighs about 600 kilo.
How do you get the battery out?
We have special equipment for that, and it's very easy, and the battery swap could be performed by driver very easily.
Okay, just making our way into the vehicle. So how do you start it?
Just turning.
Is the vehicle running now?
Yes, the vehicle is running.
Okay. Now there's a big screen in front of us in the middle of the dashboard. What does that do?
We believe that a very important part of the whole system is the IT infrastructure. So we have here in this car, we have a powerful computer which basically is trying to get the information not only about the actual location, but is connected as well to the all system in the car, and this is connected to the batteries. So this is able to provide all the information about the car, about all the technology in the car in a 5-minute interval into the headquarters, and we are collecting this data, looking how the car behaves, and we are trying to find some warning signal. If something is wrong, immediately someone in the headquarters is in contact with the driver, and they can solve the situation. We see a lot of information naturally about the remaining capacity of batteries, and if, for example, the car is too far away from a closest battery swap station, then we can immediately contact the driver and reroute them to nearest swap station.
If the vehicle does go out of the reach of a battery swap station, how do you recharge it without another swap station?
If this thing would happen, then naturally the car could charge basically on a very common outlet which could be found almost everywhere.
Can it make use of the new fast charging networks popping up?
Yes, sure. We can use the DC charging, and as well we can use the AC charging because we have the inverter on board, so we can be charged from a very common plug.